Hello everybody, this is the King of Pikmin here yet again, and today there was supposed to be a Combat Pack 2 announcement, but it was all fake. Someone faked it and fooled some people. He fooled me for a while as well, but everyone's been talking about the future of Mortal Kombat 11 due to this, supposed announcement, and everyone's been posting the characters they want to see and whatnot, so I figured I'd throw my name in the hat and talk about the future of Mortal Kombat 11 and what I want to see. So we'll start off with the obvious, the characters. Now, I don't have too many characters. I mean, some of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters are already in the game. Shao Kahn, Kano, Jax. I have a lot of characters that I already love. But there is one, my favorite of all time, that's missing, and that's Stryker. So, whether you love him or hate him, he's my favorite character. And I really want to see him come back. He was phenomenal in Mortal Kombat 9. He was an NPC in Mortal Kombat X in the story mode. And then he didn't appear at all in the story mode of this one, even as a Revenant. So I didn't even get to see him at all. So I just really want to see him playable again. And people say that he'd be too similar to like the special forces like Cassie and whatnot, but you could easily make him different. He started as a riot cop. I say it every time I talk about Stryker. Give him a riot shield, give him like a rotary grenade launcher that has different ammo types, like you could shoot smoke grenades or even explosive grenades, like just a bunch of different grenade types that he could have, and then that could replace him throwing grenades possibly. And then you could give him his assault rifle as well as the pistol, and then he has his taser and nightstick. You could make him different. I don't care what anybody says. You could make him different than the rest of the characters that use guns, without a doubt. The second character that I would like to see make a return is Ferritor. I know I was a huge fan of them in Mortal Kombat X. They were my personal favorite newcomer. I know a lot of people like Takeda, and I liked him too, but as far as my play style and my favorite character went in that game, well, my favorite character was Commando Kano. I played that like 90% of the time, but when I wasn't playing Commando Kano, I was playing Lackey Ferritor. I just loved the big brute of Tor and just like chucking people around, bear hugging them. I loved it so much, so I'd like to see them get another chance. I don't know if that will happen just because he's so big and bulky. We don't have any like big body characters in Mortal Kombat 11. I mean, Kotal Kahn and Shao Kahn are both really big, but they're not on the level of Tor and Goro in Mortal Kombat X. And I feel like in Mortal Kombat 11, they could really make use of Farah along with Tor. Because while I played Tor by himself, I still liked the idea of them working together. I thought it was pretty sick. So if you could have a mix of that, that'd be phenomenal. And imagine their fatal blow and fatalities in this game. They would be gnarly as all get out, dude. But as far as that goes, that's honestly all that I'm really rooting for, other than the fact that I want to see more Mortal Kombat characters and less guest characters in the next pack. I'm not going to lie, there's certain guest characters that I'd probably like if they got put in the game, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of guest characters, and I'm afraid that each iteration of the Mortal Kombat is going to have more and more guest characters. I mean, if they add 3 more guest characters, we're going to have 6 guest characters in this game. That's a lot. I'm not against, don't get me wrong, I'm not against guest characters, and I actually love the idea of Ash coming into the game. I think he's a perfect fit, because he's also different from the standard guest that we get. I'm also just biased because I'm a huge fan of Army of Darkness, one of my favorite movies of all time, and Bruce Campbell's personality in that, or Ash's, I guess, but Bruce Campbell makes the character who he is, but Ash's personality in that is just hilarious, and seeing him, if they put him in, which it seems very likely, if you don't like spoilers, tune out, but it's like pretty much they leaked it themselves that Ash is going to make it in the game through an email on accident, so it seems extremely likely. I guess it's not guaranteed, but it seems extremely likely to say the least. And I'd love to see his intros. They'd be hilarious. And I'm a big fan of Chainsaws also due to my love of Mad World. But that being said, I mean, there's plenty of characters I wouldn't mind seeing from Mortal Kombat, like Li Mei, Rico, Mavado. There's certain characters that I'd like to see, Hotaru. But I wouldn't be like super disappointed if they don't make it. The only 2 I'd be kind of disappointed about are Stryker and Ferritor. I'd be really disappointed about Stryker, and I'd be a little bit disappointed about Ferritor, but it seems less likely that Ferritor will make it to me. So now that I've talked about the characters, let's move on to just the game itself. And one big thing that's lacking in this one that was also lacking at launch in Mortal Kombat X is stage fatalities. Now, I'm a huge stage fatality fan. I love doing them. Anytime there's a stage, anytime I play on a stage that has a stage fatality, I do it. The subway in Mortal Kombat 3 and 9, I love doing oh my gosh, knocking them into the subway, and then in K9 holding their head against the train as it went by was crazy. That was so sick. But stage fatalities are great, and I want to see them come back. Mortal Kombat 9 had a ton of them. Mortal Kombat X had 3 that they added in after launch, and I feel like they're playing the same thing for MK11, like having stage fatalities after launch. And the reason I think that, again, if you don't like leaks and stuff, tune out. But the Evil Monastery and Deadpool stages got supposedly leaked in the game. And if they're adding the Deadpool stage, I'd be shocked if they added it and didn't have a stage fatality where you chuck them in the acid or something. Because MKX, when they added stage fatalities, they also added the pit, which has a stage fatality. So I think they're pretty much following the same pattern as MKX had, which excites me because I really do want to see a lot of stage fatalities. There's plenty of stages in the game already that lend themselves very well to stage fatalities, like the prehistoric era with the T-Rex on it. You could even have, like on the Sea of Blood, you could probably have a stage fatality, and then even the Colosseum, you could have a stage fatality for sure with all those creatures in the background. It'd be crazy. Now another thing I want to see would probably be kind of controversial, and that is I want every character to get another crushing blow, because like gameplay aside, certain characters would benefit from that more than others because some characters already have a ton of crushing blows, but I think every character should have more crushing blows that are viable, or at least change some of the conditions on some of the crushing blows that aren't useful, so that everyone's crushing blow is at least somewhat feasible to land in game. Like for instance, Shao Kahn, I mean I'm not going to use Shao Kahn as the only example, but having a taunt on the person is already hard enough, and then having to land the forward 3 string, which ends with the backbreaker while the taunt is on, anyone who knows the matchup will never let that happen. So landing that crushing blow just becomes impossible almost. And then you got someone like Geras who breaks your leg on counter hit and does like 35% for it. So it's just skewed. That's always been a problem with the game, and I think they should do more to bring it in line, give certain characters that don't have crushing blows more crushing blows, and then characters that have plenty, just leave it as is, you know. But maybe some people would probably dislike having more crushing blows in the game, but I just love crushing blows. They get me hyped, so I'd like to see more of those. And then of course adding new moves as well, and maybe that's a way that they could add crushing blows. Instead of giving existing moves that have crushing blows, you could add new moves that have crushing blows, and you know, like give Shao Kahn a command grab. I'm just going to use Shao Kahn as an example most of the time because that's who my main is. As of now, if they put Striker in there, that would change. But as of now, he's my main. So give him a command grab that crushing blows, dude. That'd be tight. I'd love that. And then just seeing, it just adds fresh, you know, fresh life to the game. Adding in a bunch of new moves that everyone can experiment with. Even add a 4th variation if you're feeling real frisky. I know we already have 3, and that's what MKX had, and having 4 variations might be kind of ridiculous, but I'd be all for it. You know, take the chance, do a 4th variation for every character, add some new moves to fill out the variation slots, and call it a day. The last thing I'm probably going to talk about, other than balance and stuff, because my boy Shao Kahn definitely needs some help in the balance department, but last thing I'm probably going to talk about, it seems unlikely, but I'm still going to put it out there because I've been begging for it since MKX, and that is tag team. I know it's probably something to do with constrictions with the system and everything like that, but I'd just love to see tag team in the game, because a lot of my friends play casually and we don't want to have to fight each other, but I'd love to team up with them, you know what I mean? Imagine some teams like, I don't know, man, it'd just be so cool, like Shao Kahn teaming up with Kotal Kahn, or Shao Kahn teaming up with Jax. I don't know, it'd just be so sick, dude. Any team up you could think of. Tag team just makes it better. You know what I mean? A tag team makes every fighting game better, in my opinion, because then you could play with friends on the same team cooperatively, not competitively. I mean, you can have casual games where nothing's on the line, obviously, so, but it's still just more fun to cooperate, in my opinion, with your friends than to fight against them. I don't mind, you know, fighting against them every now and again, but when it's the only option, I just like tag team at the end of the day. So the future of Mortal Kombat 11 seems uncertain right now. It definitely seems like we're going to be getting new characters, and they keep saying they want to keep supporting the game for a long time. So I'm hoping they're going to be adding stuff like that. So Striker, #1 priority. Put Striker in the game, please. Oh, I didn't talk about it. Don't put Mileena in the game. That's one thing as far as characters go. Let me have one game without Mileena, please. She wasn't on the launch roster, which shocked me. Please don't put her in as DLC. Please. Save it for someone else. Let someone else shine. I'm sorry to you Mileena fans. I'm not actually sorry, but you know, don't put her in the game. I get a lot of hate for hating Mileena so much, but she's my least favorite Mortal Kombat character, and I'm sorry for that. I mean, again, I'm not sorry, but just don't put her in the game, please. I'm ranting a little bit about Mileena, but there's like leaks that surfaced supposedly of her in game, and they look fairly fake, so I'm really hoping that they're fake and then Melina doesn't make it, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, recap. Striker and Ferritor, I want to see them in the game, and I want to see less guest characters and more just Mortal Kombat characters in general. Like, I mean, you could put like Li Mei, Hotaru, Rico, Mavado. I don't know if I already talked about them, but I mean, those are characters I wouldn't mind seeing. But any Mortal Kombat character I wouldn't be too disappointed with, except Melina and maybe Natara. But those, other than those two, just put some Mortal Kombat characters in there. A little bit less guests. Stage fatalities, I really want to see make a return, and just new stages in general would be great. I mean, why not? New crushing blows, new gear moves, possibly new variations, and then lastly, I want to see tag team really bad. Last but not least, because that's up there with Striker being in the game. You know, I really want tag team. But yeah, that'll about do it, guys. Sorry, I know I talked for a long time about stuff I want to see, but I'm passionate about Mortal Kombat, and I want to see this game really flourish, because as of now, I'm struggling with it a little bit. I love the game, don't get me wrong, but playing Kombat League, maining Shao Kahn, I'm riding the struggle bus. That's for darn sure. So, especially I made True Kahn with the taunt, because landing the backbreaker crushing blow is my pride and joy. I love it so much. But I don't know. I just want to see some. I just want to see the game really flourish. You know what I mean? And I feel like we might have some good stuff in store. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But let me know what you guys want to see in the future of Mortal Kombat 11. And, you know, feel free to bash me about my thoughts in the comments below as well. I know I'll probably get some bashes from Melina fans, because they always hate when I talk trash about Melina. But I can't help it. I'm sorry. I hate her. I just do. But with that note, put Striker in the game, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for sticking around.